ASEAN's not an artificial thing. It's not something that was created in the imagination of an executive at some multinational company. ASEAN is real. It's 50 years old. It's a willing gathering of 10 nation states, not just for economics, but for security and for other exchanges, political consultation. And it's been intensified recently in the minds of business executives because the ASEAN economic community has been articulated very clearly, and it's about to come into focus by 2015. Now, mind you, those 10 countries remain nation states, and they each have their distinct nature, and we have to acknowledge that and treat them as they are, different countries. Indonesia is different than, Laos, but ASEAN's a real thing. China is no longer an inexpensive place to manufacture. With the cost of labor, the cost of water, the cost of operation, it's much more expensive than it was a generation ago. Southeast Asia still has some cost benefits, and there's some serious manufacturing underway here. Thailand is the automobile manufacturing center of the region, and Indonesia increasingly manufactures. So it's a rising sector, manufacturing, but it's the services sector that looks like the real driver moving forward. There's the question of, can we develop the capital markets across ASEAN, and can you do it regionally? It's posed in a way that suggests that we haven't done so, and it's not true. The capital markets here are evolving very quickly. The ASEAN 5, they have big stock exchanges: Singapore, Kuala Lumpur, Jakarta, Bangkok, and Manila. The market capitalization of those exchanges has quintupled between 2000 and 2014. So 2000, that's the benchmark. That's the 97-98 crisis. We come out of that. New benchmark, five-fold increase to $2.5 trillion. Now that's about 100% of GDP. That's a huge number. The debt capital markets have done a similar expansion, five-fold, from 200 billion to $1 trillion. So the capital markets in ASEAN have critical mass. They're giving companies currencies to buy other companies. That's a very, very, very good evolution. If you look at the chart of the rising markets across that 14, 15-year period, it's as if the global financial crisis of 08, 09 never occurred. It's a straight line up. There are efforts to link those exchanges. Today they operate very distinctly. There are efforts for trading links so that brokers can buy and sell stocks across them in an attempt to accumulate those pools of liquidity so that they aren't fragmented as they are today. That'll take a while. Banking liberalization will take time because prudential regulators are still defined by countries. So you still need permission to enter Singapore or Thailand or Malaysia or Indonesia. We have a lot of work to do before there is such a thing as a unified ASEAN banking market. That said, the banks in each of these countries are increasingly strong, and you have national champions, CIMB and Maybank in Malaysia, and of course the big three here, DBS, UOB, and OCBC, increasingly expanding across ASEAN and across Asia. Indonesia's banks are very strong and very large. The biggest issue that's emerged today is cybersecurity. We've seen all around the world, bank robbers don't use guns, they use laptops. They try to hack into our systems. So keeping these data secure is one of our biggest challenges today and our most important priorities. That said, if we can build these big data networks, we can make it more secure, and this is scale plays to our strengths. What do we need for that? We need the free flow of data across borders in a secure fashion. That's what we need when it comes to liberalization, not just for financial services, but for any company in services, logistics, anybody who moves information, media. The free flow of data across border with strong cybersecurity around it, that's one of the biggest things we're talking about today. Technology is one of the great opportunities, the device in your hands. We sometimes take it for granted, but it's breathtakingly powerful, these smartphones and tablets that we all carry around. So to have a system that's available 24 hours a day with lots of bandwidth, that's totally secure, that's a very expensive system to build. And you need scale. That will be the defining competitive advantage in our business going forward. Your ability to finance, design, build, and implement those big tech systems, That's going to separate the winners from the losers.